Alrighty, so I am back for round 2 of recording, which is the for the last battle of week 1. This would be Red with Khorne versus God. I'm bad with names because he's new, or he's not new. He's, as far as I understand, he's from the Generals Discord, and a regular tournament player there. Let me pull up the Discord right now and find out his name. One of these days I'll be prepared for things like this. So, VM Komdinner 12. Um, I haven't decided if I'm just going to call you Cromer or Dinner, but we will watch the replay. Now, I've rolled the week. You'd think I would have, looked to see who won this battle. I did not. I have no idea how this goes. The amount that you saw just right now, if you had paused the video to look at their armies, if you paused it, you looked at the armies more than I was, because even while they were up on the screen, I was just looking up Cromer's name. Will he be Cromer or will he be Red's dinner? Alright, done with the puns for now. So we are looking at this from Red side, standard kind of opening, Herald to cultists, heavy infantry, start with pretty solid amount of flesh hounds versus dual war sleds. I am not sure if these are light or heavy. Armored Hussars with great weapons, which might actually do okay against Red start. And regular armored Hussars, and then regular Hussars with spears, which I actually really like. They just seem to stick around forever in the Tsarina, because why not? What does the Tsarina have for spells here? Frost Shield. Okay, that's... Did she bring any spells? Oh, there we go. Oh, just... Okay, Ice Sheet and Heart of Winter. And these are heavy war sleds. So Red has bring the flesh hounds around the back here. I do think they should be up a little bit more, just in case these heavy war sleds come in. Maybe try to pin them in place or something. But I guess you'd also get shot up by these armored Hussars. So maybe not a great idea. We'll see where they're going now. They are planning on coming in to try to pin them in. But these are heavy war sleds that can kind of, as you see, just kind of run through the infantry. Took out 3 models there. 4 models there. Oh, 5 actually, between whatever they hit and whatever else they hit. These flesh hounds are probably going to get minced up. I mean, this is kind of what Kislev would want, I would think. But this is a heavy, just hard engagement right off the get-go. And while Sir Cromwell here is taking care of the flesh hounds, the rest of Khorne is apparently stopping just short of engaging. Like, this is weird pathing issues. Yay. Bloodletters are going to come around the back, and they should just mince up anything they get. But this is a nice hit by the heavy war sleds. They need to stop this this flank here. Those Hussars are pretty much dead. These flesh hounds probably need to come back around. I don't know. I think I might take these. Can't. Nope. Oh, I think I've tried this before. I can't draw during matches, which is replays, which is kind of stupid. I think I would wrap these up around the back here. Like, you have 3 units of basically pistols and bows that are just doing nothing. This is a pretty good Heart of Winter. Let's see if it pays off in the long run. We have more armored Hussars and armored Hussars with great weapons. I do think they will trade pretty well against these flesh hounds. one of the summons from the cultists that are in here. Oh, there they are. And cultists as a whole are just impressive with their fighting and staying power. Like, you'd think they'd be more of a support type unit, but oh man, are they just really, really good as heroes, I think, for being mortal heroes. I did miss it at some point. Some Minotaurs with great weapons came in. Their big targets should be these war sleds. One war sled still has 3 out of its 4 models, but it's kind of on its. I guess both have 3 out of 4 at this point. But this one looks like he's about ready to rout. The other one's doing fine. And the Minotaurs are on the far opposite side. I mean, they'll still kind of kill anything with support. This might not be a great engagement for them, though. Zargard with great weapons versus Minotaurs with great weapons. That might go. Like, yes, they're anti-infantry, but like they're just made for chopping up stuff, and Minotaurs without any real kind of chaff support do seem to get just a little butchered. But the Minotaurs are being pulled back to hunt what they really need to hunt. So red definitely has 0.1 and 0.3 with these bloodletters. I am surprised he just doesn't have Chaos Warhounds. Oh, there they are. They're just hanging out back here. It's like he summoned them and forgot them. 0.2 looks like it is going to continue to be held by the dinner guest. Minnow's going back in. Now is a much better time for the Minotaurs with, well, rapidly disintegrating Fleshhounds, but then you have some Chaos Warriors here. You do have both Cultists, which might, with that and the Minotaurs, they might, those Warriors might stay there, because double great weapon Zargard. Zargard are surprisingly resilient. This is a bit of good kiting, but looks like you are out of ammo. And, well, you don't really have to worry about the Warhounds here, but the Warriors, I think that might be a good matchup. I do think these War Sleds need to come over here and just kind of munch up these Bloodletters, because then you could just send over, like, Dervishes or something. I did not check to see if he actually has Dervishes in the army, but... And these War Bears, I guess War Bears right now are barely engaging against the Hero Squad. They all need to be in here. I think that's probably just micro mismanagement. And these Armored Cuirassiers either need to be brought back or need to be sent away. Fleshhounds. I know we had some Warhounds. There's war. Like, it is... looks like their icon is the same, which makes it very difficult to tell what type of Chaos Hound is on you. And the difference is very important. Fleshhounds, pretty much no need, or Warhounds, pretty much no one needs to worry about. Fleshhounds, almost every unit needs to at least calculate the time it's going to take to deal with the problem. If not, actually, you know, worry about being beat. So, 2 more Fleshhounds in here with the Cultist, with Minotaurs, so there's still a good amount of chaff in here. And he brought over the Bloodletters from 0.2. I think this is the point where Cromer needs, if he has those Dervishes, if he has anything that's light and fast, needs to be over here and just grabbing this point. He's still holding 0.3. There's obviously a very big fight where you need to be throwing a majority of your force, but 400 points over here, it's going to take a while. Like, red is just continuing to bring in units and then forget about them all the way back here. So grabbing this, just slow the bleeding, bring it back up, because it will take a while for red to get back over here and recapture this. you're not holding point 2 yet. You're fighting off the point, which is not a good spot to be. You're winning the land battle. That's not what the goal is here, though. These are armored Khazars against basically dead warriors. Like I think every shot in here is just going to kill another warrior. They have one more volley left. Yep, 44, 42. Yeah, they're just dying fast. These armored Khazars on top of the ones that are already there, just gonna finish munching them. Still no threat over here, no anything. These Argard are not fast enough for that. I guess if you're trying to save your heavy war sleds, they're fine. Minotaurs going to save the flesh hounds from being killed while they kill off the heavy war sleds. It's a weird combination. But yeah, red's just pushing now into the summon point, and that's the one thing with this map. Squid and I were talking about is really all of your regular army reinforcements are coming from one point. There's nothing back here. There's nothing back here. They're all coming from the temple. So if you want to plug them up, it's not like you kind of have to watch 3 points and then worry about getting flanked unless they have a huge vanguard army. You plug them right in the middle, and they're just going to be fighting there. Red did get another unit of bloodletters up and over here, so that point is now guarded. I think this battle is just pure Red's win. Cromwell has enough to push out here, but it's not happening. I think he's microing and concentrating on battles like this, trying to see if his heavy war sleds get saved. All of this needs to be pushed up here. He's almost 2,000 points behind. So 3,000 points from victory versus 1,000 points from victory. Even if he recaptures this point, he has to triple cap to have the victory here. And let's see here. We have a unit of Skull Crushers coming into these very battered and tattered units. So I think even point 3 is going to fall to red here. The Skull Crushers don't have enough weight to outdo these 2 units, but I think they can pretty easily make them run. And then with no units remaining on there, it doesn't matter how little weight you have as long as you have something. Flesh Hounds out here. Red seems to be very distracted, but it's distracted is not going to stop the battle. Yeah, if this battle went on another 5-10 minutes, Komdinner here would have a chance. Red's army is in tatters, falling apart. He has a couple healthy units. But Kislev just held back way too long at this point. Especially if you're planning on using, ice sheet and that kind of stuff. Like, I get the big bunch up for harder winter in the center. But then after that, you needed to spread out. Like, you didn't stop him from capturing the points. He had nothing to threaten to the left and rights with any kind of speed. Just 1 or 2 units of dervishes. They're so cheap. And I believe dervishes can, not the warhounds, but not the flesh hounds, but the warhounds, they can take or be very close to taking in a one-on-one. We'll go ahead and look at that. Like, as much as this green does not matter in the long run of things. It looks like the war sleds both really kind of paid for themselves or got pretty close. I forget if they're 1,300 or 1,500 for the heavy versions. But they did their jobs. I don't know how many times everything else here was summoned. I don't know if the Tsarina was brought in a second time. 1,700, I'm not sure if that's the value of her. She might be in the 2,500 range. The Herald surprisingly definitely pulled out his damage. I find this is always a hard point for Khorne. Their Herald just Doesn't have good mount options, in my opinion. The Juggernaut is okay, but he's slow for a mount. And otherwise, you're a Chariot Lord, which I'm not personally good enough with a Chariot Lord. And at best, I've seen him do okay. Because I'm mainly referring to like Beastman Chariots. That's where you usually see them. Cultists obviously both paid for themselves, plus their summons also pay for them. Their summons aren't included in these costs. I think they're on foot. They're like 800 or 900, and maybe 1,000 or 1,100 on horse. Everything else here, obviously, probably summoned multiple times. I don't think these are all, full health units that are from the original battle, since they were the original ones that were killed off. Probably summoned multiple times as well, these Warhounds. They usually don't provide the value. They're more literally just for annoyance and harassment. One thing I am surprised I am not seeing is Exalted Bloodletters, because they can continue to add to their value and their strength, because every time they get resummoned, yes, they are more expensive, but they have that kill stacking, and I believe, unless it's been fixed, is their kills keep stacking. So every time they get summoned back, they cost the same, but they're stronger, even without getting chevrons. We're not even going to talk about the fact that like they can chevron up and technically get stronger. I'm just talking about their unit ability, which makes them a lot more valuable in the long term. Scarbrand has the same thing, but how many times you can summon Scarbrand in? But the more kills they get, the stronger their weapons get. But that's it. Red, who is, I would say, probably seed number 2 as far as my picks go for this, because you have to put Squid at number 1. Let's see here. So he did not have any fast cav, which I do think was a misplay. So back to what I was saying. Red is probably number 2, with Squid being number 1 solely because he won, and Red was right there behind him last tournament. But I think Red has the better army versus Cathay. Though Cathay has been getting the buffs lately, or at least the praise of CA, and little tweaks here and there where I don't believe Khorne got too many tweaks. Khorne's relatively strong, but also like really kind of one way to play. Patriarch, I don't even remember seeing him, but obviously he got brought out because he got kills and he got killed. I think either just some wing lancers or dervishes or something along those lines. Not even to do hard hitting stuff, but just when points are left completely exposed, you need that vanguard to just be able to wrap around. I do think at this point Kislev is probably one of the weaker factions unless you're really good with the hybrids. The other thing is you should have some Ice Guard. Not as critical against Khorne, because as far as the demonic factions, they carry relatively few demons in comparison to some of the other factions. But the magical bows that slow people down, or magical damaging bows that also cause frostbite that slow people down, is so useful to the rest of the army. Just being able to hit people at range. And then they're also really good in close combat with magical close combat attacks. Against Khorne, they're the least effective because Khorne uses the most kind of mortal units, with their warriors being their front line. But all these Fleshhounds, they just get mulched by Ice Guard, because they have spell resistance, not magic resistance. But that's it. That's the final battle for the week. I have finally started to remember, if you would like to join our next tournament, it's just one match a week generally. Discord link is in the description. Talk to you guys later. Bye.